Hello, IEJ76 Ian here, and this is Tier F8 of AOR Racing, Round 7, the Canadian Grand Prix. I've qualified in 11th, the only person to qualify on the slower super soft tyres. I'm going for an ambitious one-stop strategy, super softs to softs. I believe most of my competitors will probably be doing 2 stops. So Boniface is on pole, McQuiz is alongside him on the front row, but we start 11th on the slower super soft tyres. And we make a good start, reasonable anyway. Jason gets past Noodle Dougal, and we look like we're going to go down the inside of Noodle Dougal, but there's not enough room, and we're a bit cautious. Hug the inside line there, a couple of cars go wide, and Secker, I think, actually taps us just there. You can't really see it. We get past Seek, and we've already moved up 3 spots to 8th place, which was a result for us on the slower tyres. I was hoping to at least maintain 11th, but we've already made up 3 spots. A lot of scraps going on ahead, as you can see. And I'll just let you watch the end of the first lap. End of lap 2, and we're still in 8th place, but Caddy Davison, the Williams, gets out of shape going through the Wall of Champions chicane, and we get a bit of a run on him here. Little bit of lag there as the car jumps. We're down the inside, but I didn't want to lock up too much, and we didn't manage to get through, but a fun battle nonetheless. And we're on lap 5, and we're still in 8th place, so very much holding our own on the slower tyres. And I was just distracted. Caddy Davison, the Williams ahead, ran a bit deep there into the hairpin, and that distracted my braking point somewhat, and my own mistake. And Zeke is able to come out the inside in the Renault, but we've got reasonably good speed in a straight line, so we've come back at him, try and get in the slipstream. He goes to the inside line, which is going to make it very difficult for us to go round the outside in this tricky last chicane. He takes it well, but he runs wide over the curb there, and we get a little bit of a run on him, and this was a chance for us to get back into 8th place straight away, but he's got DRS still, and we weren't able to do it. End of lap 6, we're still chasing down Zeke, who makes a mistake out of the chicane. Oh, he so nearly smacked into the back of him. I think he's got damage. He certainly hit the wall on the far side, but that was a very scary moment and a very close call for us. But we are up to 8th place, and we're fairly comfortable with the position we're in at the moment. So fast forwarding to lap 16, we're still in, well, we're not, we're in 6th in fact, because others have come in obviously for earlier pit stops from the ultra soft, get down to 50 miles an hour so we don't get a penalty. And I'm always nervous after what happened a couple of races ago as to whether our pit crew will fit us with the right tyres. We want the soft tyres, the yellow tyres, which will comfortably see us through to the end of the race if there's no problems. And we are going to be in 8th, and I think, looking at the map, yeah, we're going to lose a place to Zeke, who's gone on to another set of ultra softs, but we're going to come out quite nicely in 9th. Lap 18, I'm still getting used to the feel of these soft tyres into this chicane, which I had trouble with all weekend, and a really pathetic little spin really. Thankfully I didn't manage to hit the wall, and I'm going to rejoin only just ahead of Guy Hoyts. Lap 20, now this was the really fun part of the race for me, an enjoyable phase, because we had Jason on the ultra softs, so 2 compounds quicker than us, catching us fairly quickly initially, and I did think that he was going to be able to get past us quite quickly on those ultra softs, but actually we had a great battle with him. He stayed somewhere between half a second and a second and a half from us for about 10 laps, I think, to lap 30, and it was quite enjoyable being put under that pressure, but also finding that I didn't crack. So end of lap 31, we're in 7th. Zeke is hunting us down, but it started to rain, as you can see, and that contributes to us making a mistake at the final chicane, and we've received a 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings for corner cutting, which is frustrating because we've pretty much gone through most of the season without getting too many of these penalties. But the conditions were getting trickier, but I wanted to try and stay on these tyres and not pit for the inters and see if I could tiptoe round to finish the race. Sadly, it was not a good decision. As you can see, start of lap 33, too much brakes in these conditions, the soft tyres can't handle it, and I go for a pathetic little spin. And at the same time, we have to get out of the way for Boniface in the McLaren, who's leading the race, and he's going to lap us comfortably on the outside. Lap 34, conditions getting bad. We should have probably come in for inters at this point, but we don't, and we just lose the car with no warning on the slippery conditions. I thought that was game over. I thought possibly we were going to knock our wheel off and retire, but thankfully it was only major wing damage. And now at this point, obviously, we've been lapped, so this is effectively our last lap. But at the time, I did not register that in all the mayhem, so I'm thinking, oh, I better come in and change my front wing and put the intermediate tyres on. I may lose the place, but if I carry on like this, I won't, I'll crash completely in the last lap. And we are really struggling on these soft tyres. We've got Jason has made a pit stop for inters, but Caddy Damus, who's actually a lap down, has passed us, just showing you how much more effective those intermediate tyres are in these conditions. And it's just impossible to get the car turned in properly in these conditions. It's really tricky. I'm sliding all over the place, but as I said, at this point I'm thinking, let's just get into the pits. I'm pretty sure that there was only 10 cars in the race at this point, so I thought, well, I'm going to get a point regardless, so let's make sure I don't retire and do the last lap on intermediates. So I come in serenely here thinking, oh yeah, this is a good call, better late than never, and I'm going to watch our pit crew not come out. And I didn't even notice, you can see there clearly race winner Boniface, so this is me finishing my race, but I still didn't register at this point that the race was over and I wasn't going to do the last lap, which is really silly of me. But there we go, we crossed the line in the pit lane, meant we lost the place to Jason, so we really should probably have got 8th place, but there we are, 9th place, another points finish. Great win for Boniface, with McQuiz in 2nd and David Benn in 3rd in the Ferrari, so Washi and Denzama off the podium, which is rare for them. There you go, there's the final standings. 5th place, it says Carlos Sainz, that was actually Denzama, I think, that had left by this point. 9th place, 2 points, not great. Our strategy, I think, could have yielded a 7th if we didn't have the problems with the rain, but certainly 8th we should have got. So here are the championship standings. Washi with an impressive lead from McQuiz and Denzama. We are sat fairly well in 5th place on 46 points. Here are our results for the season. There we go. Next time it's Azerbaijan next Sunday.